A virtual card is not a physical, plastic card. Instead, it is a set of 16 digits similar to a credit card number together with a CVV code that is randomly generated using software. Virtual cards can be either credit or debit cards. What is a virtual debit card? A virtual debit card is similar, but the randomly generated number is linked to an underlying debit account instead of a credit card. The virtual numbers can be used to make purchases remotely, but it cannot be used to make in-person purchases. When charges are made using the virtual debit card number, the purchases are routed to the linked account and are subtracted from the balance. However, people are not able to trace the number back to the originating account or to access money by using the number. Virtual payments are payments that are made online or over the telephone without exchanging cash or paying by check. These payments are made using the generated numbers in a secure manner. When payments are made virtually, hackers who steal the generated numbers will not be able to use them. The numbers will not work after they have been used by you to make the payment, and they won't work to allow access to your accounts or to be traced back to your company. Virtual payments can help to reduce invoices and speed up the payment process so that goodwill is built between you and your suppliers. Your virtual credit cards can be a MasterCard, Visa or other form of debit card. You can also make application in your bank. Who uses virtual cards? Why are they used? Virtual credit and debit cards are becoming increasingly common among consumers, and businesses are now starting to catch up. They are used to make purchases remotely and to prevent fraud. Since the numbers are essentially throwaway numbers, they are useless to thieves. When you choose to use virtual numbers to make purchases online or over the phone, you can eliminate the potential for online fraud. Your employees also will not be able to use the numbers to make purchases that you have not authorized. A virtual credit card replaces your regular credit card number when making a purchase. Using a virtual credit card can protect your financial information from fraudsters. How does a virtual credit card work? One way to get a virtual credit card number is to generate one via your credit card issuer. Not all credit card providers offer this, but if you log into your credit card account, you might see an option to enroll and create virtual credit cards. The same can also be true for debit cards, where your bank might offer options to create virtual cards online. Your credit card issuer might have tools like browser extensions or apps that you can use to generate new virtual credit cards, often for free. Sometimes you'll have the option to generate one-time use virtual cards, and other times you might create virtual cards that can be used indefinitely. Much depends on the issuer and your own use for the card. If you use Apple Pay or Google Pay, you may already be using a virtual credit card. To use these digital wallets, you have to first enter your regular credit card number, or perhaps a virtual card that you generated via your credit card issuer. Then the wallet automatically provides merchants with a tokenized version of your card. When you tap to pay the merchant, they're not receiving your actual 16-digit credit card number, explains Lee. They're getting a tokenized credit card number, which is basically a virtual credit card number. And that certainly provides a high degree of security and convenience for a consumer. The same applies to click-to-pay options via providers like Visa and MasterCard. In general, says Lee, digital wallets use tokenized virtual cards by default, but you can check with wallet providers or sites that store your card to confirm whether they're using the regular credit card number or generating virtual ones. What are the advantages of virtual credit card? Enhanced security. Since virtual credit cards sometimes can have limited uses, they can increase security. Even if a fraudster got a hold of your virtual card info, they might not be able to make any purchases with it if there are spending or merchant limitations in place. 2. Shopper privacy. Virtual credit cards can provide consumers with privacy by obscuring their regular credit card numbers. That can make it harder for merchants to associate purchases with particular users. 3. Good for business users. Virtual credit cards can also give you more control, particularly in a business context. For example, companies can create virtual cards for one-time use, specify which merchants' cards can be used at, and create spending limits for employees. What a bad side of a virtual credit card. May add friction. Virtual cards can be relatively seamless to use, as you might be able to just tap and pay. But sometimes they add friction to the consumer purchasing process, such as if you have to switch tabs or apps to generate the virtual card number before completing the purchase. 1. Doesn't eliminate fraud risk. While virtual credit cards can increase security in many ways, they also introduce new fraud risk. If a cybercriminal accesses your credit card account, for example, they could generate multiple virtual credit card numbers to potentially bypass fraud alerts. Even if credit card companies do not hold consumers liable for this type of fraud, someone else will bear the burden, like the merchant or the credit card issuer. 2. Potential inefficiency. Another potential downside to virtual credit cards is confusion. Not only might merchants struggle to link purchases to specific customers, but consumers using multiple virtual cards have to keep track of which card numbers are associated with which accounts. When to use a virtual credit card. Virtual credit cards have many different use cases for both individuals and businesses. Shopping online. If you're worried about cybercriminals stealing your credit card data, you might use a browser extension or app that lets you generate one-time virtual credit cards for each e-commerce transaction. Tap to pay. When shopping in physical stores, you can use tap to pay technology that essentially relies on virtual credit cards. For example, at the grocery store you might use Apple Pay or Google Pay, which then gives that grocery store tokenized information, not your real credit card number. Or, you might have a physical credit card that you can tap to pay, which also generates a token. Managing employee credit cards. Rather than sending all employees physical credit cards for work expenses, you could provide virtual credit cards for both convenience and control. For example, a marketing team might receive virtual credit cards that can only be used for specific types of purchases, and the finance team can get direct insight into those transactions so that there are no surprises, explains Eckelboom. Overall, virtual credit cards are part of a growing effort to enhance credit card safety. While there are some potential pitfalls, especially for merchants, they can help protect consumers. At the same time, they're helpful as an organizational tool, such as for businesses that want to give more employees access to the company credit card without giving them free rein. How do you apply for virtual credit card? Step 1. Visit sc.com. In Step 2, choose the credit card of your choice. Step 3. Fill in your details and verify with OTP to submit your application. Step 4. Get instant approval in principle. Step 5. Post successful validation of your KYC and other documents. Your virtual credit card will be ready instantly. Step 6. Log into internet banking using the temp ID and password sent on your registered mobile number and get your virtual card details. Step 7. Use your credit card details for safe and secure online transactions. Turn on a virtual card when you check out. When you make a purchase in an app with an Android device or online with Chrome, you may be able to fill out the form automatically with a virtual card. If you check out with an eligible card not saved to your Google account, you may get the option to turn on a virtual card before you complete your purchase. Saved to your Google account, you may get the option to turn on a virtual card after you complete your purchase. If you turn on a virtual card, the next time you make a purchase, you can use the virtual card number to check out. Turn on a virtual card with pay.google.com. Go to pay.google.com. At the top left, tap Menu Payment Methods. Find the card that you want. Tap Turn on Virtual Card. Only cards that support virtual card numbers have this option. Tap Turn on Got It. Under your card, you'll find Manage Virtual Card. If you can't turn on the virtual card, you can still use autofill to pay with the regular card number. If you can't turn on a virtual card, try to turn on your card again. If it doesn't work, contact your bank to confirm that your card is in good standing and eligible to be a virtual card. Make a purchase with your virtual card. You can use your virtual card when you shop online or in apps. When you check out on a website or make an in-app purchase. Choose the virtual card from your payment method options. Let Chrome or Android fill in the payment info automatically. You may be asked to verify your identity with a code, fingerprint, or other method. Check out as usual. Tip: if Chrome or Android doesn't automatically fill out the form after you select your virtual card, enter your virtual card info manually. At the bottom of the screen, tap View Card. Copy and paste or enter the card number, expiration date, and CVC. Finish checking out. How do I create a virtual credit card? In order to create a virtual Visa card, you must first apply for a bank account in order to receive a customer number. Whether you must first open a physical card before applying